as we know, with the recent victory. And I'm sure Coach Grove has been in this situation before, and he will convince, and rightfully so, the Norristown Eagles that 2 touchdowns is not an unsurmountable amount of points to gain back. And and they don't have to do it all in one play. They just need to establish drives and really hang on to the football and not shoot themselves in the foot. And, I certainly believe we haven't seen the last of the Norristown Eagles. They will not go down without a fight. These kids have a lot of heart, and I think we're going to see that in the second half. Should be an exciting half, Joe.
All right, thank you, Bill. We'll wrap it up now for the first half here at historic Roosevelt Field. For Bill Michaels, this is Joe Highland saying we'll see you at the commencement of the third quarter.
Another coffee? Another coffee?
No, I'm fine. Do it now? All right, welcome back to Roosevelt Field. Tonight's game between the Eagles and the Panthers. The Panthers with a rather commanding 21-7 lead. Teams are both teams have returned to the field. Norristown in a mass huddle. Cheltenham doing the obligatory stretching exercises.
Well, that unity in the middle of the field by the Eagles is sure good to see, Joe. And hopefully that's an indication of what's to come in this second half.
I hope so. I hope so. Just a brief historical note. This stadium was built in the early part of the 20th century, and it was named for Theodore Roosevelt, who was as you fans know, was the president from 1901 to 1908. And it's interesting because during his administration, President Roosevelt, Theodore Roosevelt that is, threatened to ban football because it was too rough. And he warned the various college presidents that unless they cleaned up the mayhem and stopped the dirty play, he was going to ban football. The presidents and the various deans of the colleges and universities across the country responded and basically cleaned up the act of intercollegiate football. It would be, I don't know if President Roosevelt could have banned football, but he used what he called the bully pulpit to exact reforms in the sport, and was instrumental in making the sport itself a much safer activity in which to participate. That was President Theodore Roosevelt.
Well, very interesting piece of information, one that I did not know.
All right, the Norristown captains are at the middle of the field. Joe Kay, Anthony Carmona, Sam Johnson, and of course Davey Watts. Out there for the Panthers is number 77, Big Ben Webster. One of the assistant coaches made an interesting comment before the game, Bill. I asked him, do you have any, I asked the coach if he had on his squad any Division I prospects, and he said, not yet.
A very fair statement indeed with all of those underclassmen. Joe, I'm not sure if you sense this or not, but Cheltenham does not seem surprised at all to be up 2 touchdowns, nor do they seem to be overconfident or really celebrating. They seem very focused, and that's a tribute to Coach Groh and his staff, keeping these young men focused and keeping their heads in the game, something that's not easy to do, especially when you're dealing with younger people.
That's an excellent observation. I think the description would be they're very businesslike right now.
Yes, they are.
Norristown will be kicking off to start the second half. Giacomo Stabile teeing up the ball at the Eagles' 40. And here come the Panthers, led by looks like Marcus Fonts.
He had 3. We wanted him to give it up. He did think that. He was going to play
All right, here we are ready to start the second half. Ball's teed up. Here come the Eagles. Nice kick. Nice kick. Returned by, there's a penalty flag. There goes Fonts. Out to about the 47-yard line. There is a penalty flag on the play. I think it was a block in the back.
I think you're right, Joe. And it looks like they're going to get Ryan Williams, number 5, with that illegal block.
Nullifies a very nice return by Marcus Fonts. The very impressive junior running back for the Cheltenham Panthers. Eagles will, of course, accept the penalty.
Well, instead of starting their drive near midfield, Cheltenham will now start their drive at the 15-yard line. Inside the 15.
Tarlow in motion. Quick look into Pinckney, overthrew his receiver. Pretty hard to overthrow that young man, but young Nick Dye did it.
Yeah, and that's fortunate for Norristown because there was no one around that receiver. And that's a big target and a big person to try to bring down in the open field. That could have been trouble.
The nights cooled off a little bit. Not a lot, a little bit. Still muggy, still warm. All right, here come the Panthers. Single back, Tarlow in motion, handoff to Tarlow. Over the left side, nice tackle by number 80. That's Johnny Jones. If the Eagles can make the Panthers go 3 and out,
it certainly will be a big boost to their confidence.
All right, here's 3rd and 10 for the Cheltenham Panthers. Dye on a rollout. Incomplete pass. Nobody in the area. The closest one was Tarlow. Sam Tarlow. Nice defensive stand by the Eagles, and they'll get the ball in very good field position.
Sam Johnson, number 3, and Witter, number 17. Lionel Pratt usually does the punting.
One of the youngsters, number 17, Ken Witter, back to receive the punt also.
Not a very good kick. Not a very good kick at all. Eagles will take over on the about the 37-yard line, Bill.
You can't ask for better field position than that. Just what the Eagles needed, a good defensive stand, favorable punt for them, and now they'll take that momentum and their offense and hopefully put together a drive, chip away at that 14-point lead.
Interesting substitution as Sammy Johnson was removed and number 36 took his place, Raheem Allison, a 245-pound senior. There's a pitch to Pettigrew. Cuts back. Nice gain for about 15 yards. Nice play. Carmona took a hit, made a beautiful pitch, though.
Really did. That was, couldn't have been executed any better. Anthony waiting till the last possible moment to pitch the ball.
Gave himself up, sacrificed his body for that one.
Yeah, he sure did. That's the type of young man he is. Had the pleasure of knowing Anthony for a few years now, and he's without a doubt a team player.
I know Coach McGee always speaks very highly of Anthony. Here's a handoff to Pettigrew inside. Speaking of Coach McGee, he's not with us this evening. He is right now on his way to Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, where tomorrow he will be attending a family wedding, and we miss him a lot.
We sure do. Wish him a safe, happy trip.
The leading number was 161-429 for the 50-50. 161-429.
All right, second down, 10 yards to go. Raheem Allison, the up back. A.J. Pettigrew, the tailback. There's Carmona, a little bit of indecision there. It's going to cost him. Might have lost a yard. When they put number 36 in, Raheem Allison, I thought they were going to use him as a blocking back, just to clear somebody out.
He's certainly a nice-sized, healthy young man. Joe, you had a key word on that last play, indecision by Anthony, and when you're running the option, there can be no indecision. It's a play of reaction.
Gets away from almost a face mask. I thought it was a face mask, but it wasn't. No flag. They dragged Anthony down after a gain of about 4.
Well, this is going to be a tough call. They have to go for it. 6 yards for the first down.
Yeah, this is a big call, Bill. Sammy Johnson, the Eagles' leading ground gainer, remains on the sideline. Raheem Allison, his replacement. There's Carmona. Does not get the first down. He's about 2 yards short. I think the Panthers are going to take over.
Well, that's unfortunate for the Eagles.
Had a grand opportunity there. Defense gave the offense the ball in very good position. Unfortunately, the Eagle offense sputtered a little bit in that last offensive series. When you get advantages like that, you got to take advantage of the advantages.
You certainly do. Well, hopefully the Eagles defense will stand tough again.
Oh, that should be a flag.
There's a pitch to Tarlow around the right side, knocked out of bounds.
Hard to see what the gain was on that play. Joe, appeared to be about 5
I
yards.
think you're right, Bill.
Oh, yeah.
On the pursuit was number 31, Julius Blackwell, accompanied by A.J. Pettigrew.
Looked like the Eagles defended it pretty well, but I'm sure you'll agree 5 yards on first down is too much.
I believe that was Marcus Fonts for little if any gain.
That's a great defensive stop by Norristown.
It was. Out of the game is number 56, Jason Boykins. All right, 3rd and 4. Tarlow again in motion. Pitch to Tarlow. Reverses his field around the left side. Short of the first down. Nice play by the Eagles.
Well, it's going to be 3 and out. And another big defensive stand for the Norristown Eagles.
Excuse me, Bill, but again, the Eagles have a chance to get the ball back in very good field position.
You're right, Joe, and if they are to get back in this game, they certainly are going to have to take advantage. You know, as you alluded to earlier, take advantage of your opportunities.
A line drive kick. There's Sammy Johnson, met at the 45-yard line and driven back by number 20, Marcus Fonts. He plays on special teams, he plays defense, he plays offense. And I think before the game I saw him lining the field.
I would not be surprised. He's been a big part of the success that Cheltenham has shared this evening.
A young man to watch. Again, he's only a junior. Allison still in the game. Here's a pitch. There's Pettigrew, breaks away. I think he's going to go. He's pursued by Gilliard. He's not going to catch him. Another touchdown by A.J. Pettigrew. A long touchdown. Shook loose from a couple of tackles and ran right up the middle. Great play by the young man, A.J. Pettigrew.
And Joe, and that was all A.J. Pettigrew. There was really no great hole or blocking. He just kept his knees driving, and I tell you what, that would be a great film for young running backs to watch. Just a tremendous effort, keeping his legs moving, his shoulders down, and just driving until he was free. And and then of course the burst of speed that he has puts the Eagles right back in the hunt.
He outran the very speedy Rashad Gilliard. Big extra point.
Good snap. Good snap.
Good snap. Nice hold through the uprights. Nice to see. So the Eagles on about a 55-yard burst by A.J. Pettigrew have narrowed the gap to 21-14. Pettigrew's touchdown and Stabile's extra point, and we have a game.
Well, we talked earlier about a heavyweight type fight, and certainly Norristown responding with a big blow, narrowing the gap to only 7 points. With 5:53 left in the third quarter, plenty of time for them to tie and eventually take the lead.
It's really starting to cool off considerably, but look at the flags. They're standing straight out. A nice breeze coming across the field. That's good for the boys.
It sure is. Perhaps some effects of the storm.
All right, here's Stabile to kick off. Low kick. Goes into the end zone. Nice kick by Stabile. The Eagles' kicking game is shaping into form.
Well, that young man has certainly improved over the last few weeks. Now kicking the ball with a lot of confidence and a lot of power.
And his teammates on the sideline are congratulating him. He's putting the foot back in football for the Norristown Eagles, whose theme this year is Return to Glory.
Well, it's obvious A.J. Pettigrew certainly has that as his agenda.
I believe it was a false start. Illegal procedure. Yeah, it's interesting with regard to Pettigrew. Halfbacks who play defense usually play in the defensive secondary. A.J. Pettigrew is an outside linebacker.
That's a great observation, Joe. You're right. Gives you an idea of the toughness that young man has.
That's right. Here's Tarlow breaking free. Nice move. Surrounded by 5 Eagles, finally dragged down just short of the 50-yard line. Sam Tarlow.
Joe, this is a neat game we're watching.
I agree 100%.
Plenty of action for the fans.
I note across the field the Cheltenham contingent is very, very sparse, and they have an exciting club here.
They sure do.
Here's Tarlow in motion again. Inside handoff to Fonts, no gain. Nothing.
Great stop by number 56 for the Eagles. That's Jason Boykins. 6'1", 275-pound junior.
Second down, 10 yards to go. Ball just over midfield. A little under 5 minutes left to play in the third period in what has turned out to be a very, very exciting high school football game. Here's Tarlow again. Bangs in ahead for about 6 yards before he's driven back.
Coach Roger Grove has to be happy seeing his football team swarm to the football like that. Assuring that Carlo doesn't have the same success that Pettigrew has, because he certainly runs just as hard. Same style of runner.
Hand off to Fonts. Got the first down. Dragged about 3 Eagles with him. Punched his way down to about the 39-yard line. That'll be a first down for the Panthers on a nice drive. Right, there's a player down on the ground. Now he's up. Now he's down again. It's number 1, Omar Brown.
Joe, I'm looking down the list of offensive players for Norristown, and we've talked quite a bit about Cheltenham being a young team and having some up and coming stars, but Norristown also with some young players on their squad getting considerable amount of playing time and really making great plays for them.
Yes, indeed. I think the future looks bright for both coaches. You know, the poise and the character of these young men never ceases to amaze me. They're out there putting it on the line, practicing every day, maintaining grades in school. They are remarkable young men.
They really are, and too often it goes without saying. You know, people, I think, just take it for granted, you know, and don't really realize how much time these kids put in all sports and all high school athletics.
Yes. I mean, it's got to be tough. You know, you go to school, you're there 6 hours, you go to practice, you get beat up at practice. It's a very physical game, and you come home 7 o'clock, have dinner, and you still have to crack the books.
Yes.
Tough.
Not an easy schedule.
Nope.
Not an easy schedule. Well, that's not a sight that we like to see for the Eagles.
No, it looks like his left ankle or his left leg, but we don't want to speculate. We don't want to speculate. He'll get the best possible care. Will Omar Brown, from the Eagles athletic training staff, and if necessary from local health care providers. They'll take care of him. They were back to the action now, and it's Tarlow again, ripping off another 15 yards over the left side of the Cheltenham line. That's Ben Webster and Holland Fisher clearing out the Eagles.
Joe, I wish we had some statistics up here. Tarlow's got to be getting close to 100 yards on the evening.
Oh, I think so. There he is in motion again. There's a handoff to Fonts. Gain of maybe a yard. A.J. Pettigrew on the stop. Pettigrew gave up 15 pounds to Fonts on that play and stopped him cold. And Fonts had a head of steam, and Pettigrew still stopped them cold. Second down, 8 yards to go. Tarlow in motion. Handoff to Tarlow. Over the left side, there he goes. Down to the 5-yard line.
He is extremely quick. And they have him listed at 5'10", Joe, but looking on the field, he doesn't appear to be that tall. And he is what you would refer to as a scat. He's quick.
Yep.
And shifty. Well,
All right, Eagles have to suck it up now. Suck it up. They must stop the Panthers. Fonts inside. Nice defensive play. I think did Dye keep the ball?
I think he did, Joe. Number 72, Nick Toto, on a tackle for the Eagles, and that's a great play. That's a big play, as you were just getting ready to say. And the Eagles have shown a lot of character in the red zone, especially close to the goal line.
All right, 2nd and 5, a minute and a half left to play in the third period. Tarlow bangs down to about the 2-yard line.
And again, that Norristown defense bending, but not yet breaking.
That time, there was a change. They put Fonts in motion and handed off to the single back in the backfield, which was Tarlow at this time. Usually it's been Tarlow in motion. Fonts stopped. He is stopped by the center of that Eagle line. No, he was not stopped fast enough. Font squeezed through. Disappointing score. Very disappointing score. 27-14. The Panthers now.
Joe, that is disappointing. I really thought the Norristown kids stopped the ball carrier short of the goal line.
Certainly looked that way. What's a little troubling now, Billy, is that they're going to be down, assuming Frats makes the extra point, they're going to be down 14 points, 2 touchdowns, and the Eagles' aerial game has not been very productive.
You're right, Joe, and really the Norristown Eagles are going to have to hope for some big plays on offense, and hopefully comes in the form of A.J. Pettigrew, and the ensuing kickoff would be a great time to see that happen.
All right, another Eagle is down on the field, on the goal line. Can't see who it is from here. Who's down? Right, down on the field, we're informed by one of our spotters, is A.J. Pettigrew. He's up now. Young man's playing his heart out, offense and defense.
Yeah, he really is, Joe, and I don't care how good a condition you are, when you're playing both ways and absorbing the blows and giving the blows like A.J. has done tonight, it's going to take its toll.
Yep. Gets a nice round of applause as he comes off the field.
Well deserved.
Nice to see the Norristown fans recognizing his splendid effort this evening. A.J. Pettigrew. Here's Frats. Extra point. It's up and it's good. 4 consecutive PATs for the young man. Makes the score Cheltenham 28, Norristown 14. With 38 seconds left to play in the third period. Still a lot of time. But the Eagle aerial attack has to get off the ground.
Joe, you're right. It's not quite panic time yet. However, the Eagles certainly will need to put together a drive and a score and then rely on their defense, which has been good with 2 earlier 3-and-out stops. So the Eagles certainly not out of it.
A nice run back here is key, I think. Johnson, Dave Watson.
And I believe that's Witter. Oh, my mistake, that's Whitehead, number 80.
Right. All right, Kyle Frats will kick off again from his 40-yard line. Picked up by Whitehead, reverses his field, stopped at about the 17-yard line. Boy. Number 15 on the stop for Cheltenham is Kenyatta Robbins, 5'11", 154-pound sophomore. All right, here come the Eagles. They have to put together some kind of a drive here to get back into this game. Nice pass over the middle, caught by Jamal Blackwell. I'm sorry, that was Kenny Witter.
And Joe, Anthony Carmona just threw a bullet right into the chest of Kenny Witter, and that's a play that will certainly give the Eagles confidence and hopefully give them a new dimension for the remaining quarter.
Yep. Well thrown ball. First down. Eagles on their own 30-yard line. Johnson, the deep back in the eye. Handoff 5, 8 yards. Sammy Johnson. Nice run. Nice blocking up front by that the interior of the Eagles offensive line, consisting of Kevin Waters, Joe Kay, Jason Boykins, Nick Toto, and Blair Schwartz. That's the end of the third period with the score, the Cheltenham Panthers 28 and the Norristown Eagles 14.
And Joe, I like the momentum that Norristown is building going into this fourth quarter. A solid pass from Carmona to Witter, and then a great run by Sam Johnson. Seem to have the Norristown Eagles being determined to get in the end zone and rely on that defense to come up with another 3-and-out series and give them an opportunity to tie the ball game.
Absolutely. All right, here come both units back onto the field. Norristown offense, Cheltenham defense. All right, here's Carmona over the ball. 2nd and 3. Handoff to Johnson. There's a penalty flag in the area of holding.
Joe, I think one of those penalties might be face mask, and it is.
I stand corrected, happily so.
I didn't quite see a number, but whoever tackled Sam Johnson on that play seemed to have him up around the head area.
Okay.
The officials doing a great job of protecting these players.
Yes.
They'll bring up a great first down opportunity for Norristown.
First and 10. Carmona back to pass. Knocked back into Carmona's hand, and he stopped after a gain. They're going to lose about 3 yards on that. Bill, at this point of the game, do you think, or does the thought come to your mind that perhaps, and I say perhaps they may substitute for Carmona?
Joe, that's a great question. It has crossed my mind, but I doubt we'll see that. I don't think we'll see that. I don't think we'll see it.
Okay. There's a pitch and a reverse. Dragged down from behind as he crosses the 50-yard line is number 88.
I believe that's Whitehead.
That is right, Mike Whitehead. And by no means, by asking that question, am I second guessing in any way the